guys, Elizabeth here from WeGot. Welcome back. So today I'm going to discuss with you a topic that we're pretty familiar with, and that's how to start an international store. Now I've linked down below in the description a pretty in-depth guide, which I really encourage you to check out as well. But without further ado, let's take a look at 5 top tips for starting an international store. Okay, so tip number 1, you need to actually research the target markets that you're thinking about entering. Now there are a number of free tools that you can use to help you along with this. So let's take a look at the first one, and that's Google Analytics, or in fact any analytics tool you're using on your website. So let's take a look at Google Analytics, for example. And to check where your current website traffic is coming from, go to your audience, geo, and location. This gives you a great idea of where you're getting your traffic from already and could be a good place to start. The second option is to actually analyze where your orders are coming from. Through your e-commerce CMS dashboard, here we're looking at Shopify, you can already identify which countries are purchasing your products. And then another good one is to check out Google Trends. Here you can actually type in what your product is and search by country and see if there's actually a trend for your product, and then that could help determine whether that's going to be a good market for you. Okay, so tip number 2 is website localization. It goes without saying that translating your content for your new site visitors is going to be crucial to selling internationally. Now, it's not just the words on your website, it also extends to things like images, emojis, colors. All these impact how they're perceived by different target markets. Although it might sound like a lot of work, and particularly when you have thousands of products on your website, you can make the whole process incredibly easy and smoother with a website translation solution like Weglot. This step will definitely pay off because, in fact, for every €1 you spend on localizing your website, it actually yields 25 euros in return. It's not actually just the words, images, and videos on your website that are crucial to being found by your new target markets. Multilingual SEO plays a big role in that. There are many elements that make up multilingual SEO, and these include dedicated language subdomains or subdirectories, hreflang tags, and your translated metadata. Okay, so tip number 3 is international payments. Now this is where things can start to get a little bit more detailed. This is essentially an extension of website localization, and it involves you having the preferred payment methods on your website for your new target markets. In fact, 16% of shoppers abandon their cart if their preferred payment option isn't available. Unfortunately, credit cards don't actually cover all markets. There are certain countries, say for example the Netherlands, where they use Ideal, other countries where PayPal is preferred, or even countries where e-wallets make up the preferred payment choice. Showing the preferred payment method of your potential customers at the checkout point ensures that they don't abandon your cart. But don't worry, there are numerous plugins that can help you with this, and we've linked that in our guide below. And that actually leads us nicely on to currency, which falls within payments, because if you're not displaying the right currency on your website for your new customer, then it's likely they're going to be pretty confused about what the final cost is for them. There are a few reasons why: uncertainty of the final cost for the buyer, exchange rate fluctuation, or cart abandonment rate. The easy solution is to install a currency converter, and that way everybody's happy and they know exactly what they're going to be spending on your goods or products. Okay, so tip number 4 is global logistics. Now this is a pretty big one because it's how you're going to get your product to your customer. Now there are 4 different ways and methods for shipping internationally. We've got international shipping, using a fulfillment provider, local manufacturing in your target markets, or holding your own products internationally. The first 2 options are the easiest and more affordable, especially if you're just entering new markets. The second 2 options are a little bit more detailed, and I won't go through them today. They're actually in our guide, and those are more for people who have been established in countries selling internationally for a while. Okay, so let's take a look at international shipping more closely. Now this is the easiest one because it's just you in your home country shipping your products all over the world, or whichever countries you're deciding to target. However, there are some complications here because you'll need to understand taxes, custom charges, who's paying for the taxes and custom charges. Is it you or the customer? This can lead to some disappointment. And also don't forget that it means the delivery times will be longer because you're just distributing from one location. Next up, we have fulfillment services. Now, this can really ease the process for you, especially as they keep your products, they store your inventory, and they also ship your goods all over the world. They also take care of a lot of custom and tax charges, so you'll just pay that upfront and the customer will never have to be impacted by those. Other benefits include transit times are improved as the product is closer to the customer, shipping costs are cheaper for you and the customer, and returns are easier for the customer. As I said, there's some more details in the guide below, so make sure you check that out. The last part of global logistics, and I touched on it just then, is taxes. Unfortunately, the inevitable. You're always going to have to pay taxes, and different taxes at that, depending on the countries you're sending your items to. Taxes include things like sales tax, so that's not related to shipping. VAT, this is related to shipping because VAT is also calculated on the shipping price. Then we've got GST tax, goods and services, import duty, and then there are numerous other ones. Often a fulfillment provider will actually take care of these taxes, so that can help again smoothen the process for you. And our fifth and last point is customer support. Now, it's important to also give the exact same user service to your new customers as it is to your original customers, and for that we recommend a multilingual support. Now, this doesn't always have to mean that you're going to have multilingual instant reply support, but at least having your FAQ pages translated, your shipping pages translated, so everybody understands exactly the process when they're buying goods from you. Also, if you are going for the option of having a multilingual support agent, remember that there's different time zones all over the world, so you'll need to accommodate your new customers. After all, 27% of businesses have lost customers because they don't offer multilingual support. So, that was our 5 top tips for selling internationally. As I've mentioned, we've got a great guide below, so I'd really recommend reading that and getting even more details on these important steps. Until next time, bye!